Welcome back. Before the break, we were joined by our judges for this episode, business leaders Ajay and Sanjeev Bijli of PVR Cinemas. They are the faces behind the beginning of the multiplexing of India. Let's get to know a little bit about the start of the PVR vision. Ajay, when you thought of this idea, was it with a cinema hall? How did it start?
I think it started before the multiplexes started with a single screen cinema. My father, he ran a trucking company. In his journey as somebody who's running a trucking company, he also picked up one property in Delhi called Priya, a single screen cinema. When I finished college, I had to join the trucking company. But for some reason, Sanjeev and I both grew up in Priya in the box watching films. So somewhere I think intuitively we were very keen that somehow we should get involved in the cinema business, which is a very tiny part of the overall business. But we still experimented, and that cinema became very popular. So that's where the journey started, and the response was very, very good, and that encouraged us to take it to another level. So that's where we thought, let's pick up another property. So we picked up a single screen cinema called Anupam, and then converted that into a fourplex.
The PVR began to produce films of their own, generate content, and how did that play out? Ajay?
We got a call, as luck would have it, from Amer, because he had just had an experience where he said that I've got these two movies, and he said that everything is done. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is with the distribution work or not, because both the movies are not like mainstream Hindi films. So by default, we got into this two-film tie-up where we did Taare Zameen Par and Jaane Tu Jaane Na. We became producers, and plus by default we were distributors.
And both films worked very well for you financially.
Exceedingly
Absolutely.
well.
So a wind beneath your wings to go into further
That's right.
ventures?
That's
and how
right.
did that play?
Well, I think that's, entrepreneurs are sitting here, budding entrepreneurs, so I'd like to say something to you here as well, that I think success and failure both have to be watched very carefully, because sometimes when you succeed also you need to examine very deeply why did you succeed. So I think this success led us to sort of make more movies and maybe digressed us a little bit from our core. And so it was 50-50.
Understood. So, who's going to ask the first question?
My question is to Ajay. As an entrepreneur, when you see big opportunity and you have to grow your organization, and that growth comes at the cost of diluting your equity, how do you take a call?
I think company will take a precedence over our personal aspirations. Second is that your management has to be correct. People have to believe in your management. If they believe in you, I think then you can be 80% owner of a company and do a terrible job.
Thanks Sanjeev, thanks Ajay for that very candid Q&A. Now let's get down to the business end of the episode, which is the task that you're going to give to the contestant.
Well, I believe you guys have studied about PVR and the cinema industry a little bit. So my first question really, or task to you guys is that there are lots of players in the market now. How do you suggest PVR should prevent itself from being commoditized and differentiate itself in the marketplace so that when people do make a choice, how can we get our consumers to say, I want to watch this movie, but I only want to watch it at PVR. And the second task is really that should PVR think of diversifying and becoming like a brand which has got lots of verticals, or should it just stick to its core? Related to this is that, again, every entrepreneur today has got an aspiration to go global. You say, wow, and let me have my brand abroad as well. And whereas at the same time, there's this huge consumption story. So we really do fall into this consumption of the Indian, consumer. So should PVR again stick to the knitting as well as stick to this country, or go, global? So that's the second task. The last one is that there's so many, ways to watch movies just now. So therefore, somewhere the consumer is saying, listen, I can watch it anyway. Why do I have to leave my home, make a program with my friends, make a program with my family, and then find a car parking spot and then come to a multiplex to watch a movie? So what do you think PVR should do to make sure the movie-going habit in the cinemas?
Fantastic. But, anyone guess what I'm going to say? The twist, exactly. Which I shall not reveal since I can't twist, but I'm going to give it to Sanjeev.
Thank you. Right, so the twist is, at the end of the presentation, there'll be a SWOT analysis. This will be made by the rival group. Thereafter, the presenting group may or may not agree with the SWOT. And in order to express their agreement or disagreement, they may get into 2 minutes short debate or argument with the SWOT analyzing group. After the debate is over, we will be asking a few questions to the presenting group.
Super. So without further ado, let's get into the business end of the pitch. Okay, so let me take you through the time limit rules, because there will be many rules concerning time, as you're well aware. For starters, the CFO of the organization, Mr. Sood, will initiate you into the activities of PVR, and he will take 2 hours to do that. After that, you will enter the task zone, and you will be clocked at 60 minutes preparation time. As soon as 60 minutes are over, a representative of the company will come and stop your work there and then. Wherever you are with your preparations, you have to stop at the end of the 60th minute and come to the presentation area, which is where you are. There will be 2 teams of 4 members each. Each team will have 8 minutes to make their presentation in front of our judges. At the end of your 8 minutes, the opposing team will have 5 minutes to prepare a SWOT analysis, and that will happen to the side. Once their 5 minutes are over, you will reassemble here at the presentation area and present your SWOT analysis to the presenting team. To present your SWOT analysis, you have 2 minutes. At the end of those 2 minutes, without any break, the presenting team will rebut. Their rebuttal time will be 2 minutes too. After which, the judges will fire questions at the presenting team. There is no time limit for that. However, there will be one question that is mandatory that the judges will ask both teams. And they will ask that question of your team leader. But nothing can start without the formation of the teams. So I'm going to ask this week's pitched-in contestant, Rajiv, to step up. There's a goldfish bowl right there with the 7 names of your fellow contestants in it. Please pull out 4, and as you do, announce their names, and we'll see who constitutes the first team.
So the first name is Sriram.
Rajiv gets the privilege to constitute the first team with Sriram, followed by Jennifer, Ninad and Surjit. Rajiv's team members are Aparna, Tony and Priyanka. Rajiv, being the pitched-in candidate in the previous episode, gets the privilege to lead his team as well as to choose the leader of the opposing team and invite Surjit to lead the opposing team.
Well, it obviously begs the question, why Surjit?
Yeah, so we discussed this among ourselves, and I will share team's opinion as well as my opinion about this. I know Surjit personally. Surjit is a great entrepreneur, has been running startups for last many years, 10 years. He's a good leader, has been managing team. So he deserves to be the leader. The second, Surjit hasn't got the opportunity to be leader of any team so far. We thought he should be given opportunity to lead the team, and therefore we decided that he should lead that team.
Well, super. Please take a seat. Right, so the task is explained. The teams are formed, and now it's time for action. I don't know how you do this episode after episode, but you have 3 hours only, 2 hours to absorb the nuts and bolts of a business that you and I don't know much about, and an hour to present, to work on your presentation in the task zone. Get cracking. Good luck.
And now for the Samsung Galaxy Tab 750 contest. What is the display size of Samsung Galaxy Tab 750? A. 1280 by 800. B. 1024 by 600. C. 1024 by 768. To send in your answers, type pitch space question number space A, B or C and send it to 59995. Or email at thepitch@bloombergutv.com. One lucky winner who answers the maximum number of correct answers gets to win a Samsung Galaxy Tab 750 at the end of the series.